Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history. The Washington Quarter Dollar, a small piece of silver-colored metal that has become a true legend among collectors, historians, and everyday treasure hunters alike. The Washington Quarter isn't just another coin. It's a journey through America's evolving artistry, economy, and patriotic pride. When the very first Washington Quarter was released in 1932, it marked the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, replacing the standing Liberty Quarter that had circulated since 1916. Sculptor John Flanagan design, chosen from many submitted, placed the noble bust of George Washington on the obverse side, with a majestic American eagle on the reverse, a symbol of strength and unity that has defined this coin for nearly a century. What makes the Washington Quarter truly fascinating is how it mirrors the changes in America itself, from the Great Depression era of silver to the modern age of clad composition and intricate commemorative designs. The early quarters, from 1932 to 1964, were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper, giving them a distinctive brilliance and lasting value. But in 1965, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint transitioned to copper-nickel-clad quarters, making the silver versions a collector's delight and a window into the past. Each coin tells a story, from the San Francisco Mint's low-mintage 1932 to the equally elusive 1932 Denver issue, both of which are considered key dates and can command thousands of dollars depending on their condition. Imagine finding one of these treasures in your collection. That's the thrill that drives every coin hunter. Over the decades, the Washington Quarter has undergone numerous changes, from subtle updates in relief to dramatic new series like the bicentennial design of 1976, which replaced the eagle with Jack R's depiction of a colonial drummer, celebrating 200 years of American independence. And then the State Quarters program beginning in 1999 that transformed the reverse of the coin into 50 miniature works of art, each representing a U.S. state's identity, culture, and pride. These programs reignited public interest in coin collecting, bringing millions of new enthusiasts into the world of numismatics. But what really excites collectors are the rare varieties and mint errors that slip through the minting process, the double die obverse, off-center strikes, and transitional planchet mistakes that turn ordinary pocket change into small fortunes. Among the most valuable Washington quarters ever discovered is the 1932 D in pristine MS-67 condition, which sold for more than $143,000 at auction, an astonishing price for a 25-cent coin, proving that rarity, condition, and history can turn metal into magic. And that's not the only jaw-dropping figure. The 1932 S in similarly high grade fetched nearly $45,000, while the 1943 S double die obverse, with its subtle but clear doubling in the motto, "In God We Trust," has brought over $20,000 in recent sales. Even modern pieces can carry shocking value. A 2019 W. Lowell quarter with AV75 privy mark in mint state condition has sold for several $1,000s, highlighting how limited issues continue to captivate the market. Each generation of Washington quarters reflects not only artistic and technological advances, but also the story of America's heart and its people's passion for discovery. The silver era from 1932 to 1964 remains the most romantic and sought-after period for collectors. Those coins carry intrinsic metal value and a tangible link to the days when real silver jingled in pockets. After 1965, the clad era introduced new challenges for collectors. Subtle differences in strike quality, planchet errors, and variations in mint marks made some issues far scarcer than others. The 1982 and 1983 quarters, for example, became modern semi-keys because no official mint sets were produced that year, leaving well-preserved examples extremely rare. Then came the bold innovation of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008, captivating the nation with designs from Delaware's Caesar Rodney on horseback to Hawaii's majestic King Kamehameha I. This program became one of the most successful in U.S. mint history, sparking renewed fascination that continued with the 2009 DC and U.S. Territory series and later the America the Beautiful quarters from 2010 through 2021. These coins transformed everyday change into educational collectibles, encouraging people young and old to look closer at what they held in their hands. Hidden among them are varieties like extra leaves on the 2004 Wisconsin quarter, die cracks resembling spears on the 2005 Minnesota quarter, and even the 2021 crossing the Delaware reverse that echoed the coin's original theme while introducing a fresh new design. Beyond the designs, though, lies the real mystery, the errors and the misstrikes that make numismatics thrilling. Some Washington quarters were accidentally struck on silver planchets after 1965, creating transitional errors that can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. Others show full steps on Washington's bust or mirror-like, proof-like surfaces that raise their grades dramatically. Collectors chase after these details with magnifying glasses, studying mint marks and edges for telltale signs of something rare. The Washington Quarter's endurance over decades symbolizes America's respect for tradition blended with the excitement of innovation. Whether you hold a 1932 S or a modern 2020 W, each coin connects you to nearly a century of minting mastery. As we explore further, it becomes clear that understanding this coin means understanding the broader story of U.S. currency, its shifts in materials during wartime, its reflection of national milestones, and its role as both currency and collectible art. Even after the silver was removed, collectors never lost their passion. Instead, they adapted, learning to appreciate luster, strike, and die state as much as metal content. Some quarters show dramatic die clashes or missing clad layers that make them stand out instantly. Others, like proofs struck in San Francisco, reveal mirror fields so perfect they look like tiny sculptures. With every passing year, the Washington Quarter continues to evolve, from silver to clad, from traditional eagle reverses to state emblems and back again, yet its soul remains the same, a tribute to leadership, liberty, and legacy. The thrill of finding one in circulation, whether from a pocket of old change or a roll from the bank, still sparks the imagination. Collectors keep searching, hoping to uncover that one exceptional piece that history forgot. And when that happens, when someone finds a gem that's been hiding for decades, the excitement spreads through the numismatic community like wildfire. Each coin tells us that small details matter. The placement of a mint mark, the faint line of doubling, or even a missing layer can rewrite a coin's destiny. As we close this first chapter on the Washington Quarter Dollar, remember that behind every 25-cent coin lies a rich story of craftsmanship, history, and discovery, one that continues to inspire both seasoned collectors and curious beginners alike. This is not just about metal, it's about heritage, perseverance, and the beauty of attention to detail. Now, in Part 2, we'll uncover the deeper mysteries, the rare errors, secret varieties, and modern treasures that still surface today, proving that even in 2025. The Washington Quarter Dollar story doesn't end with its origin. It evolves into one of the most fascinating and dynamic coin series in the entire U.S. mint history, filled with modern twists, mysterious minting errors, hidden varieties, and breathtaking auction results that continue to surprise even seasoned collectors. As we move beyond the early silver years into the copper-nickel-clad era starting in 1965, the Washington Quarter enters a new dimension of collectability, where rarity is not defined by metal composition alone but by the complexity of errors, minting locations, strike quality, and unexpected die anomalies. Many collectors began to overlook clad quarters, thinking they held little value, yet this assumption proved to be one of the biggest mistakes in modern coin collecting. Hidden among billions of clad coins are rare double strikes, broad strikes, off-center errors, and even transitional planchet mistakes worth thousands of dollars. For instance, the 1965 quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet meant for 1,964 coins is one of the most valuable transitional errors, and a specimen graded MS-64 sold for more than $7,000. Even more astonishing was a 1970 S Washington quarter that turned up struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter, selling for $35,000, a numismatic marvel that still fascinates collectors today. As the years progressed, new variations appeared. The 1972 D double die obverse, the 1983 P quarters in exceptional grades, not found in mint sets, and the 1999 Delaware spitting horse error, all examples of how post-silver quarters could rival their older counterparts in value and excitement. The turn of the millennium brought perhaps the most revolutionary period in U.S. numismatics, the 50-state quarters program, launched in 1999. Each design represented a unique piece of state history, culture, or pride, transforming coin collecting from a niche hobby into a national phenomenon. People of all ages began checking their change daily to complete sets, sparking one of the largest collecting crazes since the introduction of the Lincoln cent. But within these billions of quarters, a handful became legends. The 1999 P Delaware spitting horse, the 2004 D Wisconsin extra leaf low and extra leaf high varieties, and the 2005 Kansas In God We Rust error caused by grease-filled dies. These varieties made headlines, with examples selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on grade. The program also introduced proof and silver-proof editions from the San Francisco Mint, which are among the most beautifully struck and highly sought-after modern quarters ever made. Collectors continue to chase flawless PF70 and MS70 graded examples, as perfect strikes can turn an otherwise common coin into a valuable rarity. After the state quarters came the DC and Territory series in 2009, followed by the America the Beautiful quarters, 2010 to 2021, which celebrated national parks and monuments, from Yellowstone to Yosemite, Mount Rushmore to the Grand Canyon. These designs carried immense artistic appeal and historical value, with some low mintage coins, particularly those struck at the West Point Mint, reaching sky-high prices. The 2019 and 2020 W quarters, struck with a W mint mark and released only in circulation, instantly became collector favorites. The 2019 W Lowell and San Antonio Mission quarters in pristine MS67 or higher grades have sold for hundreds, and complete sets of all 5 designs from each year can fetch thousands. The U.S. Mint intentionally created these circulation-only W quarters to reignite excitement among collectors, and it worked spectacularly. People everywhere started checking their spare change again. Meanwhile, the American Women Quarters program, launched in 2022, marked another fresh chapter in the Washington Quarters' long journey. Featuring inspiring women such as Maya Angelou, Dr. Sally Ride, Wilma Mankiller, Nina Otero Warren, and Anna Mae Wong, the series also reintroduced the original Laura Garden Fraser portrait of George Washington, the design initially proposed for the 1932 coin but rejected in favor of John Flanagan model. Finally, Fraser's elegant and dignified portrayal of Washington appeared on the obverse, correcting a nearly century-old oversight and becoming a numismatic symbol of progress. The reverse designs of these modern quarters are miniature works of art, showcasing diverse cultural, scientific, and social contributions that have shaped American history. Collectors have already identified potential rarities within this new series, such as minor die cracks, die chips, and strike-through errors, which could one day command impressive values as the market matures. In the auction world, Washington quarters continue to set jaw-dropping records. Beyond the 1932 D and 1932 S silver issues, numerous rare varieties and era coins have reached staggering prices. For example, a 1943 S double die reverse quarter in MS67 condition realized over $20,000, and a 1950 D in pristine MS68 brought $17,000. Even-clad quarters, once dismissed as common, have defied expectations. The 1971 D struck on a silver planchet fetched nearly $10,000, while a spectacularly struck 1982 P in MS67 sold for $1,500. In more recent years, the 1999 P Delaware Spitting Horse error graded MS68 brought nearly $4,000, and some high-grade 2020 W quarters have achieved auction results exceeding $1,000. These prices prove that attention to detail and knowledge can turn pocket change into profit. High-grade coins certified by PCGS or NGC, especially those with full strike or deep cameo designations, command enormous premiums. For modern collectors, investing in proper grading and storage can dramatically increase the value of their collections. Another fascinating aspect of Washington quarters is how their role in everyday commerce mirrors America's changing economy and design trends. From a patriotic symbol during the Great Depression to a tool of educational engagement through the state and women's quarters programs, the coin has continuously evolved while retaining its identity. Even the edges, once simple reeded rims, have been examined for varieties, with partial reading or smooth edge errors sparking collector curiosity. Mint sets, proof sets, and special collector editions from the Mint provide opportunities to own high-quality strikes, while circulation finds fuel the thrill of discovery. Collectors also seek specific die pairings, repunched mint marks, and proof-like business strikes that blur the line between regular circulation and special issues. In modern times, the Washington Quarter has become both a collectible treasure and a historical artifact in motion. The series teaches patience, sharp observation, and respect for the art of minting. From silver to clad, from Flanagan to Fraser, from George Washington's 200th birthday to the celebration of American heroes, this coin's journey mirrors the story of the nation itself, resilient, evolving, and full of hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Whether tucked away in an old collection, glinting in pocket change, or shining under a grader's lens, the Washington Quarter continues to captivate new generations. It reminds us that sometimes, the smallest objects carry the greatest history and value. So the next time you hold a quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of numismatic history worth far more than 25 cents. Thanks for watching.